Thank you, Mr Speaker. The Randox files, published last week, actually published later than the government itself said they would be, which wasn't acknowledged by the Minister just now. They paint a picture of a Conservative government that is simply unfit for office. That Conservative government played fast and loose with public money. It handed Randox a £133 million contract without competition. The Minister talked about every possible step being taken in testing infrastructure. Well, let's remember what happened, Mr Speaker. Randox tried to requisition equipment from universities, but we now know had to be stopped because of those files that were released. Vital tests in care homes were voided, and 750,000 tests were recalled. The government's response then was to hand them a second contract worth £350 million, again without competition. We now know, Mr Speaker, that both the Civil Service Chief Operating Officer and the Minister, Lord Agnew, sounded the warning alarm. That Minister said the department was, and I quote, paying dramatically over the odds for Randox's services, but the government ploughed on. So my first question is, why was he ignored? And did the department do as he asked and introduce a competitive tender process by March 2021? There doesn't seem to have been the operation of robust rules that the Minister referred to, or an impartial evaluation. Was that put into place or not? Secondly, there are still no minutes of that crucial meeting on April the 9th, just a rough draft email sent 7 months later. 2 years on, the department can't even explain who was there. Health ministers held, we now know, another 4 meetings that were never declared in the register. So how many more secret meetings were there? Which brings us to Owen Paterson, or as we now know from these papers, he's called OPATS. Really, Mr Speaker, is there any clearer sign that we're in the twilight days of this government? Sorry, couldn't help it. The files show that this former MP, a paid advocate for Randox, was arranging meetings with the Health Secretary in the division lobby, a place to which only MPs can have access and where it's impossible for civil servants to join them. Hardly the appropriate management of commercial interests that the Minister referred to. So can the Minister explain what was agreed in these discussions, and will she correct her department's claim there was no evidence of any breach of the rules? Thank you.